Operations. This is my bread and butter of business. Okay. This is where your systems are. Operations is nothing more than your systems. Again, using FedEx and Amazon. If you ever want to research the really a good company on how they implement systems, FedEx is a great company to use. I use FedEx on various papers um, doing my when I was doing my doctorate program, and I often as a college professor, I often have my students, my business students, break down um, the operations and business model of FedEx. Great system. Okay, great minds was working at that company. Okay, so now we're talking about operations. Business operations are simply operations are the repeatable entities of your business that can be highly optimized through process improvements such as automation. Okay, it is when you look at it, it's the ability to put something on paper, you give it to someone, they follow those instructions and get the exact same results you did. It should be your operations process should be very repeatable, and no matter who comes in, as long as they follow in those processes, will get the exact same results. And that is why your package, when you order a package, it will get there in a day or two using FedEx. They repeat the exact same process flow and it's a very detailed process. Okay. The key idea is to base process improvement on customer perspective. Okay. Who are you serving? Your clients, your customers. Okay. If you're serving your clients and your customers, then whose perspective do you want to need? I was once asked, and I read this. It was what language do you speak in your business? Because I am a global business and I don't speak quote unquote many languages, but I speak two. I speak English and whatever the client or customer I'm serving, whatever they speak. Those are the only two languages I need. Whatever language they speak, I speak. Because ultimately what they want is satisfaction. I speak satisfaction. I am great at giving people exactly what they want when they want it. I know that. Take the time to understand what they value from the product or services. Okay. It's not all about you. As soon at the point where your business is about you, when you think about it, and at the point where you open the door and say, I am now officially open. It's no longer about you. It's about the people coming through your door. It's about serving them. Eliminate unnecessary waste. Okay. If you understand the lean principles, if it's a way, if it can be minimized, you can save money on it. Remember that if it can be minimized, you can save money on it. Put systems in place to develop, excuse me, deliver superior customer value. I've talked about that several times, and you will hear me say that various times. It's all about the client. It's all about the service. Now, it's all about serving them. They're not always right. Okay, because if let's take a client who tell you, well, your business, your products are too expensive. I love that one because when you're selling something, people will always tell you your product is too expensive. But they'll go buy something else and pay more money. And cars are a perfect example to illustrate that your product is never too expensive. You can have a Toyota, you can have a Honda, you can have a Mercedes, you can have a BMW, you can have a Rolls Royce, you can have a Bugatti. They all need gasoline. They're gonna all drive on the same road. They're gonna all get you from point A to point B. But it's an experience you're gonna have when you drive each one of those vehicles. When people tell me my product is too expensive, I said, no, my product is not too expensive. You just cannot afford me yet. But once you can, I'm here to serve you. You cannot go into a Bugatti dealership with the price of a Toyota. Okay? Okay. If you have
Yes.
Toyota money, you can't go to the Bugatti dealership. Okay. But when you work and make more money, and now you have Bugatti money, you go to the Bugatti dealership. So never let people tell you that your price is too much or your business is too much. There is 8.7 billion people in the world. Trust and believe. your client and your customer is out there. Okay.
Yes.
Processes and procedures. You want to have processes and procedures that are repeatable. That's the key to it. It must be repeatable. Okay. Again, I should be able to take your manual. Every time you do something in your business, take the pen and the paper, write it down, build out processes and procedures. Because eventually, what you're going to move from solopreneur to multiple employees, and you want to give your employees a book for them to follow, for you to get, for them to get the same results you was getting when you was doing it by yourself, because you have now moved on to from moving working in the business to working on the business, and we will talk about what that phrase means in more detail. Training and development opportunities. You don't want your employees to be stagnant, and you don't want to be stagnant. That's why some of you are here today. You want to learn more. Well, if you want to learn more, you also want to invest in the people who work for you so they can learn more. Okay. There was a meme I saw one time. He says, if we train the people to do more, they might leave. And that was the chief financial officer. He's, if we train them, they might leave, because he's looking at the money. The CEO said, if we don't train them, they might stay. So now you stuck with people who are stagnant and that's not developing. Okay. I worked in a when I worked in law enforcement. After 11 months, I got promoted, and some people was very angry that I got promoted after 11 months. How could he be here just 11 months and he get promoted? Well, understand this. The bigger question is, how could you have been here for 5 years and still be in the same position you was hired at? See, a lot of times people think about longevity in a company. It's okay to have longevity in a company. It's not okay to have longevity in a position. You should not be looking to go to work every single day and remain in the same position you was hired at, because you're literally considered stagnant water to the company. Look to grow, and look to grow your people. Okay. You want to maintain an emphasis on value adding for superior client experience. Okay. Corrective. You want to take corrective, not discipline actions. Okay. Corrective actions. Your employees do things wrong. They do something wrong. So what? Let them do things wrong. Let them. Don't have them to a point where they're afraid to try. Now, don't get don't get corrective action to confused with stupidity. Okay, there are things you can do wrong, but you took a calculated risk. Then there are things you just did wrong because you just did something that was stupid. Stupidity gets rewarded with being fired. Calculated risk gets rewarded with taking corrective action. Okay, so it's clear, and you be clear with people when you're working with them as well. Okay, focus on continuous improvement. I want you to in your operations, you always want to focus on continuous improvement. What am I saying? How do I do this better? How do I get this better? Because Amazon today is not Amazon 10 years ago. Rest assured. Okay, your company is consistently getting better. Okay, the pandemic, COVID explored a lot of companies. How can you get better? Some companies did not what we call in the business world pivot, and as a result, they either fell to the wayside or they're on life support right now. And then those companies that did pivot, like Amazon, for example, what Amazon do? They hired a ton of people. Why? You're stuck in your house. You have a computer. You have a smartphone. What are people doing when they all day long playing on their phone? And then they come across Amazon. I might as well buy this. I might as well buy that. Think about this. They said, at least here in America, oh, people are struggling. They're unemployed. Well, if it happened in America because of COVID, it also happened in other places of the world. How in the world, if everybody was financially struggling so bad that Jeff Bezos make $150 million during the pandemic? Just during the pandemic. Now imagine your business. Some people's business never make $150 million in the lifetime of the business. Well, I won't even say some people. Most businesses never get to $150 million in the lifetime of the business. In the first 4 months, he got to 75 million in 4 months. Jeff Bezos got a divorce, split half his assets, and made all that money back thanks to COVID-19. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal. Perspective is key. Take advantage of technological advances, i.e., we, like we said, some of us never heard of Jamboard, myself included. Trust and believe. I got it written down right now. Okay. I took notes about several of you as you were speaking. I took notes on Jamboard. I'm going to research Jamboard. It's a technological advance that I was not aware of that I know now I can incorporate. Encourage innovation and collaboration through the organization. Okay. Encourage collaboration and innovation. And that is one of the things that is some of us have exceeded at during COVID, because as a result of COVID, I used LinkedIn a lot. Through LinkedIn, I connected with Emmanuel. Through my connection with Emmanuel, I connected with Annalise. Through my connection with Annalise, we are now all three of us on here speaking to all of you. So we encourage innovation and collaboration. Okay. I know many of you have heard, if you want to go, you don't want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you go with a team. Okay. I know you guys have heard that before. It's evident. I don't care how good you think you are. You're not as good as the team. For those of you who are basketball people, Michael Jordan is renowned as one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He was playing the New York Knicks in Madison Square Garden. He scored 67 points by himself, and they still lost. When he played with the team, not what I'm saying, when he shared the ball with the team, and more people got involved, they was winning championships after championships after championships. But when he played, when that one game, when he scored 67 points, they lost. Okay, so you want to encourage your team and encourage people around you to be innovative and collaborative. So that's operations. Any questions on operations?